Hello my friends and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm of course Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And I have to say, the video from last week where I was making Baked Ziti was a bit of a hit. I mean, it didn't bring in any more subscribers unfortunately, but it did get a lot of views. I will be trying to do more cooking videos at least once a month. But for right now, I'm going to be falling back on what I normally do, which is painting minis. And today, I got two still from the core set of Star Wars Shatterpoint. I was actually combining those words. So we have here the character Bo-Katan, as we all remember. Well, for those of us who remember the series, is the leader of Clan Kryz and the super tactical droid Kalani. Yeah. After this, there's just two more to go. Alright, so it's actually pretty good weather enough that I can go out and prime these, so that's going to be the next step, and then we start with base coats. Alright, so stay tuned and I will be right back. Okay, we're back and we're battling the bees. In my neighborhood there's a big infestation of carbon bees, been that way for years. So here we go. Going to be priming Bo-Katan and Kalani. Alright, and this piece is a nice and small, so it's going to be quick. Alright, see, nice and quick. Okay. Oh. Okay. Alright, so that's it. And as I try to battle these bees to get back in the house so they don't follow me, we're going to go back and we're going to do the base coats. Alright, so stay tuned and I will be right back. Peace. Okay, I'm back, and the primer on Bo-Katan and Kalani have dried, and now it's time to start doing base coats. Alright, so let's put on the nice device here. Turn this down. There we go. Alright, let's put him aside for now. We'll start with Bo-Katan. And I'm sure for everybody who has seen not only Rebels, but Star Wars Rebels, but also The Mandalorian, you know that Bo-Katan is not only played but also voiced by the same actress who played Starbuck in the last Battlestar Galactica. Why can't I remember her name right now? You know what's going to happen is when the cameras are off, then I'm going to remember. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, last week I did my first ever cooking video, and it was very well received. The thing is, I do not want to turn this channel into a cooking channel because there are so many out there. Excuse me, out there. So I won't do it all the time, but I will do it at least once a month. It always boggled my mind how those cooking videos, are always so popular, and some of the other ones, like what I'm doing now, don't get nearly as much attention. Alright, everybody has their thing. And of course, I will be doing, coming soon, I am taking one of my stories that I self-publish on Amazon, one of my science fiction books, and turning it into an ongoing serial that I will read on air. Well, I say on air, but I mean, I'm going to record myself doing it. And as I will explain when I post those videos, I do not have an illustrator yet, so you're just going to have to be content with looking at me while I read it. Alright, so for Bo-Katan, basically it's like, everything underlying is pretty much black, so that's why I did, her base coat in black. And with Kalani, it's, whoops, I'm going to be using the flat aluminum. I mean, it is a droid, and it does show, when I look, because like I said, with all these Star Wars Shatterpoint minis, what I've been doing is I've been looking at the site, because on the Atomic Mass website, they do have a gallery of all these pieces, and it's pretty cool because you can rotate it and see like every side of the piece, and so it allows me to see how the piece was actually painted by their people to get an assessment as to what I'm going to do. And I always try to keep it to what the character is supposed to be. So that's why I do that. Eventually I will also be painting terrain pieces that you can get for not only this game, but also for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Is what Atomic Mass Games does. They have terrain pieces that you can buy and use in the game. So I do have one that's kind of sort of ready to go. I may have to look at it because I think there's maybe a few more pieces that can be glued onto it. It's from their rival set. One of their rival sets have a Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. Now I did paint the two of them for a video, so when I do the terrain and I finish it, I will post a picture with those two character pieces in there. What is this? Alright, hold on a second. There's like a stray thread of something sticking off of this thing. Ah, got it. Okay. It was bothering me. Okay, now let me finish this. This is just about done with the base coat, and then we're going to let the base coats dry before we come back and do some more. Okay, and that's it. Here we go. Yeah. Getting quicker at this, I guess. Okay, so we're going to let the base coat on those two dry, and when we come back, we'll start with the details. So stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, we've given that paint on Bo-Katan and Kalani some time to dry, and now we're going to start with some details. Let's get to it. Alright, let's start with Bo-Katan. It's like a little bits here and there. Let me just get to where I can see what to do. Oh, that's not it. There we go, that's it. Okay. Alright, we're going to start off with some blue. Excuse me. Okay. Now, just consulting where to put the blue. Alright, so we're going to start off with the helmet. Now, I know that showing up on black may not be, may not show up all that great, but I'm going to do my best. Because when I did the Clan Chris Mandalorians, it actually showed up, the stuff showed up pretty good on the on top of the black. Alright, now I'm only going to do parts of this because in the front it is actually supposed to be white. And let's get this thing here. And here we go. Alright, okay. Now, oh, wait, did I miss something? I think I did. I know it's hard to tell, but I think I did actually miss something here. Alright. Now, it's like basically coloring different armor plates. You know, such as the Mandalorian characters. Alright, let me just see something because I may have... Nope, I don't think I missed anything. Alright, never mind. Okay. Back to work, back to work. Alright, okay. So we got that. We're going to get the shoulder plates next. So, finally, I think I remember the name of the actress, Katie Sackett. I hope I got that right, because I really did enjoy her as Starbuck on the Battlestar Galactica show that Sci-Fi ran years ago. Yeah, I thought that was a fantastic series, to be honest. What I loved most about it was that it had a definitive ending. It wasn't like leaving it up in the air for, you know, could they possibly come back with more of it at a later date? No, it was done, and that's what you know. So it was actually finished, and I think that I believe, at least my personal opinion, is that they finished it well. You know, I was satisfied. I mean, I know there's going to be people out there who, no matter what they did, are not going to like it. You know, sometimes I feel like saying to them, feel like you can do a better job, then write it. But usually when you confront people like that, they have no answer, and then they get angry. Yeah. Let's see, I got a bit on the knee. Alright. Alright, where's the other knee? Sometimes just getting to these little areas is a little difficult, but I'll get it. Alright. Anything else for this one? Gosh. No, it looks like that's it as far as the blue goes. So, well, for now, because up here on the top, there's like a design that I'm going to have to try to get, but first I got to put white down. Alright, so let's put this aside for now. And next, we're going to... Oh, I'm going to put the blue away for now. So next I'm going to keep Bo-Katan out. And we're going to get some other of these armor plates with the flat aluminum. Alright, yeah, so like I did the last time when I was doing Clan Chris Mandalorians, you know, to stop the to stop the flat aluminum from getting too watery. Yeah, I got well. First of all, to get the paint on, I got to go all the way to the bottom of the jar, but got to wipe a lot of it off so that it doesn't go on all watery. All right. Well, before I get anything else with that, let me get the rocket pack. May have been a good idea if I had gone over this first in black. It's going to come off looking very, very light. right. And if you're hearing little noises in the background here, it's warm enough where I have my front door open, and somewhere someone is making a lot of banging noises. Okay, getting close to being done with excuse me, with this color, at least on Bo-Katan. All right. Okay, getting very, very close to being finished with this color at least. All right. Make sure there's nothing I missed. Actually, I think there is a little something I missed. It's hard to see it in the picture, but I remember from the other Mandalorians that I painted. Alright, unfortunately though, I didn't wipe off enough of that paint. Alright, so I may have to go over a little some in black. We'll see. Alright, so put that aside for now. Now I'm going to focus on Kalani, which, let's see, I mean for him, and I know it's a droid, but I'm saying him anyway, it's basically just two other colors. It's going to be green and a bronze-ish color. Alright. That's a good brushes out. Whoops. Be nice if I could hold on to things, wouldn't it? Okay. Okay, I did start trying to learn the rules. For Star Wars Shatterpoint. I do think eventually I'm going to have to maybe even watch like one of those how to play videos. Yeah, well, anyway. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to do that. I mean, I started looking them up already. Sometimes it's just easier to see it being played. Because, you know, you can read the rules, but, you know, if you can't visualize it, you know, it's, you know, you're still going to have a hard time with it. Alright. Okay, so let me think. Let me see here. Okay. So with this character here, there is a lot of like, what I guess would be like armor-like plates that are painted green. Just before I start getting nuts with that, whoops. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So, you know, right now I'm just doing my best to fill in all the colors, well. All right, oops. Okay. All right, let's get these little hit points. Okay. Well, getting some good progress here. I may have to take a break to let some paint dry, so that because with him, I do need to go through some of the points with like a bronze, I say bronze even though the paint says copper. So yeah, the copper color. So, but still going pretty quickly, this whole thing. Oh boy, and yeah, to bring it up again. Yeah, the cooking video did go over very well with everybody. Like I said, my own personal wish is that it resulted in also more subscribers, but that has not happened yet. So of course, spread the word. I will be doing them at least once a month, and just trying to come up with more ideas so that I'm not always doing the same thing on the channel. And the other the other idea I came up with was to do the story. So as I read it, I'm going to basically try to emphasize what I different things, try to, if I need to, do voices so that it's easy to determine who is speaking. So I'll be doing the best I can to make it come alive, so to speak. And that's also something I'm going to be doing once a month. If that one catches on, I might increase it to twice a month, but it's going to be the first Saturday of every month. I'm going to be doing that. Okay, I think that's it for the green on Kalani. Okay, so we're going to let that paint dry, and then when we come back, we're going to finish up whatever details need to be finished up, and maybe even get to the base. All right, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. We've given the paint on Bo-Katan and Kalani some time to dry, and we're going to try to finish up the details and maybe even do the base. All right, let's get to it. So, I'm going to start off with the copper paint, because I think both of them do need a bit of it. Okay, we'll start off with Kalani. Okay. So just like with the flat aluminum, it's like the same thing. I got to go down to the bottom of the jar, but I got to wipe most of it off so that it doesn't go on too watery. All right, let me just take a little look. All right. actually. This brush may not be the best. May not be the best one for this. All right. There's like little designs in different parts of the body that got to put the copper paint on, which is why I'm pretty much going like what seemingly looks like random spots, but it's actually not. Okay. All right. Get up here. All right. I gotta use a different brush. This brush is too flayed out. No good. All right. That's much better. It was like the other brush was pretty much like the bristles were pretty frayed out and would give me very little control over where the paint is going. All right. All right. Okay. See if there's any little spots. Doesn't seem to be. Oh, actually, tiny little spots over here by the shoulder. Okay. That's that. I mean, I have to come back for him to do the gun I have him holding. And there were like different options for that. But since I got the copper paint out, so it's basically like different spots on the belt for Bo-Katan. It's got like these little compartments that stick out, and that's what I got to use the paint on. All right, almost done. Okay. And a little spot by the hip. Okay. All right. Alrighty, so let's put the copper away. I shouldn't need this anymore, but I'm not going to put it away. Alright, alright, so for Kalani, let's just gonna do the gun metal. Let's just get it done and over with. So this way, the only thing left for Kalani then would be to do the base. Alright, just about done here. Okay. Alright, that's it for Kalani. Well, for now at least. Now I'm going to focus my attention on Bo-Katan. And we're probably going to have to take another break, I just realized, because I got to put white up on the helmet, but then there's like blue designs on top of that, so I got to wait for the white to dry. Alright, but first things first. Let's get the white paint there. And really, I have no idea how well I'm going to be able to do those designs, because they are very, very tiny. But I'm going to give it a good try. Yep. Alright. Alrighty. Well, you know what? There are a few other things I can do. So, well, at least for Bo-Katan, let me get another. I gotta find another brush to use. I'll use this one. We are gonna need the flat aluminum again, because for some reason the Mandalorian guns are that color. Ooh, that was close. Okay. And while I'm at it, I shouldn't have put the white away already, because I'm going to need it. Forgot about the smoke. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Alright, let me try to find the brush I was just using. And I'm not having good luck finding it, so I'm just going to grab another one. Alright. Okay. See, before I was talking about different videos that I'm going to be making for the channel. And yes, cooking videos are going to be a part of that. I just don't want to turn this into a cooking channel. And I am going to do my science fiction stories. Now these are the ones that I've written. I'm not reading anybody else's work. So, you know, there's, I mean, so if you hear me reading something and there's something that you think you'd rather hear me read, just realize to avoid any copyright infringements, instead of reading other people's work, I read my own. I figure it's just best that way. And like I said, excuse me, I do not yet have an illustrator. So you're just going to have to be content with seeing my face as I read this. At least for now. Alright, again, almost done with these smoke clouds from the jetpack. Rocket pack, I guess. I know the other Mandalorian characters, I kept on referring to them as jump jets, but that's not accurate. That's from Battletech. I always try to remember to call it the right thing. Okay. And alrighty. That's it for now. Alright, so basically the only little bit of detail I have left to do excuse me, is the design on Bo-Katan's helmet, which I'm going to do my best at. I make no promises on how it's going to look, but I'll do my best. Alright, so we're going to let that paint dry, and when we come back, like I said, I'll finish up the details on Bo-Katan, and then we'll get started on the base. Alright, so stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay, we've given that paint some time to dry on Bo-Katan and Kalani, and just going to try to finish up those details and get to the base. Alright. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so basically, alright, this is going to be very, very delicate work here. I don't know how well it's going to come out. Try to get as little bit of paint on this as possible. trying to do this as delicately as possible, but it's like I gotta put on more paint than what I want to just to get it to show up. Alright, it's not coming out as good as I would like it to, but you know, it's something. Alright, unfortunately that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I guess I needed a really, really, like thinner, finer brush than what I got. So, but I'm going to move on to the base. So on both of them, it's looks like it's going to be mostly metal, and I'm going to take basically I'm going to follow what I did the last time, and instead of doing the metallic gray, I'm going to do it in this color, the flat aluminum, because it did show up better as like a metal floor plate. All right. So I just realized on the back here, by the bottom of the rocket pack, I'm supposed to put on some yellow to make it look like it's blasting off. I did not do that. So finish the base. I'm going to do that now. Okay. Ooh. Got to keep a very steady hand sometimes. Sometimes pieces start to fall and then it messes up your painting. Okay. Alrighty. Finished up Bo-Katan. And now let's finish up Kalani. Alright, just about finished here. Then we'll have to take another break, let this paint dry before I can come back with the wash. Okay. And we're done with that. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we're going to let that paint dry. When we come back, we'll do the wash and it'll be all finished. Alright, so stay tuned and I will... Okay, excuse me, I'm back and the paint on Bo-Katan and Kalani have dried and we're going to do the wash now. And then it's all finished. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright. Okay. So let's start with Bo-Katan. going on pretty nicely. And maybe for when I start posting on social media, maybe I'll take a picture of Bo-Katan with the Mandalorians from her clan. Then I'll do the same with Gar Saxon and the Mandalorian Super Commandos. Okay, just about done with these. Wash on the base. Okay. Oops. Alrighty. That's it. That is all there is, folks. Okay. So here they are. Bo-Katan and Kalani, the super tactical droid. Ready to be deployed as soon as I learn how to play the game. Alright, so that's pretty much all I got for you today. Please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible. And when you can, please go to Tabletop Jones Productions and do the same there. You know, we are trying to reach more people and get more subscribers. Like I said, like I've been saying, I'm at 25 right now, and I would like to make it to 30. So please, like I said, like, subscribe, and share as much as possible, and help us support the channel. All right, so thank you very much for watching. You have a great day, and I will see you again. Take care.